Good morning. My name is Brian Cashwell. I'm the music director here at New Thought Unity Center in Cincinnati, Ohio. A very special guest today, Gunnar Gidner, is going to play some saxophone. He's going to speak a little bit later, but we're going to open up things with the old Jimmy McHugh standard, On the Sunny Side of the Street. For all events, see the website, email blast, or Facebook event for detailed information.
And if you want a paper copy, it's on the back table. The Angel Wings resale shop is having, this is the last day for their summer clothing buy one, get one sale. All summer clothing items and shoes are buy one, get one free. And the shop is open today from 12 to 3.
Meditation with David McClanahan will be in session today at 12 noon in the chapel. And after today, they will be going on a hiatus.
There's a new members class today from 12:30 until 2, Classroom A with Regina Steinley.
A Course in Miracles. Next class, Tuesday, July 18th at 6:30 p.m. in person at NTUC, facilitated by Susan Bartels. A $5 love offering is suggested.
The Circle of Light Spirituality Group is having their next class on Wednesday, July the 12th at 6:30 in Friendship Hall and via Zoom. $5 love offering is recommended. The class is co-facilitated by Barbara Meyer and David McClanahan.
Angel's Wings Resale Shop Volunteer Meeting and Pizza Party will be July the 20th at 6 p.m. All volunteers and anyone interested in volunteering at the shop are welcome to attend. You can see Kay, Flo, or Linda to reserve your spot or for more information about volunteering.
Once again, we are partnered with Lighthouse Youth and Family Services to collect school supplies. All donations must be received by August 7th at 2:30. A sheet of approved items is located in Friendship Hall.
July 22nd, Community Spaghetti Dinner and Summer Concert Series. Spend the evening at NTUC. Spaghetti Dinner from 5 to 7 p.m. in Friendship Hall. Adults $15, $12 for children 12 and under. Tickets can be purchased from Barb Meyer or online at ntunity.org. Following dinner, David Kaiser will be in concert at the Gazebo beginning at 7 p.m. Join us for a fun-filled evening of dinner and at the Gazebo listening to the tunes of David Kaiser.
And I am told that there is a vegan and gluten-free option with the dinner. August 6th is a triple header with Greg Tamlin at NTUC. Join us for the 10:30 service with Greg Tamlin to hear his music and message, A Brief Mystery of God. After the service, there will be a potluck lunch, and that will be served in Friendship Hall. Be sure to bring a dish to share. And that potluck will supersede the one that's normally on the 5th Sunday of the month. So there will not be one on that Sunday, but there will be one on the August 6th. And then at 1 o'clock p.m., the fun continues in the sanctuary for Greg's comedy concert. A healthy dose of comic relief. And here is a brief clip to give a taste of Greg's music.
This is called Self-Employment Made Harder by Difficult Boss. You might think self-employment is a great way to work. Self-employment's harder when your boss can be a jerk. How come I just pretend to listen to the things I say? What makes me think I can treat myself this way? I don't give myself enough time off, but I do give myself flack. And sometimes I make fun of myself behind my back. Then just when I thought I had a shot at real advancement, I took myself to court for sexual harassment.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Also, tickets can be purchased in advance through the center, Belew, or ntunity.org. Tickets are $20, and 50% of the tickets will benefit NTUC. So be sure to mark your calendars. It will be fun.
Our annual summer picnic and pool party will take place once again at Nancy Crace's house on August the 13th, from noon until 4. Bring your swimming suit, games, food. There'll be a food feast, and be sure to bring a dish to share. And also, they have a mystery meat. I wonder what that is. Mystery meat and free entertainment. So be there and bring your dish to share.
No telling when any.
We don't think it's roadkill, okay? But we're not sure. Friendship Hall. Join us downstairs after the service. We've got coffee, tea, and some light snacks, and lots of love and companionship.
Yes.
Come on down.
All right, join us, sing along, stand up, dance with this next one if you want to. Here we go.
You are the sunshine of my life. That's why I'll always be around. You are the apple of my eye. Forever you'll stay in my heart. I feel like this is the beginning. Though I loved you for a million years, and if I thought our love was ending, I'd find myself drowning in my own tears. Whoa, you are the sunshine of my life. You are the sunshine of my life. Yeah, yeah. That's why I'll always stay around. Ooh, ooh, yeah, yeah. You are the apple of my eye. Forever you'll stay in my heart. You must have known that I was lonely, because you came to my rescue. And I thought it must be heaven. How could so much love be inside of you? Whoa, whoa, whoa. You are the sunshine of my life. Yeah, yeah. That's why I'll always be around. Ooh, ooh, baby. You are the apple of my eye.
Well, good morning. How's everybody feeling this morning? It's a beautiful sunny day after all those storms yesterday. We needed the storms and we need the sunshine. I'm so grateful that you're here. So let's start with a weekly affirmation. I'll say it and then I'll invite you to say it with me. I am aligned to my higher purpose. Let's say that together. I am aligned with my higher purpose. Let's take that into a moment of prayer. Father, Mother, God, we call on you to remember that Christ's presence within and to remember our higher purpose. For help in connecting to that purpose, the purpose that each of us is here to fulfill, the path that we're here to walk. We call on you to be a lighthouse when we find that the path gets dark. And we call on you to help us be a lighthouse when someone else's path feels dark. And from this place, we are aligned with our higher purpose through the Christ presence within and through our own divine power. And so we say thank you. And so it is. Amen. And now we're going to say our prayer for protection together. So I invite you all to join me. The light of God surrounds me. The love of God enfolds me. The power of God protects me. The presence of God watches over me. Wherever I am, God is, and all is.
Please stand as we do our congregational. I claim a blessing. Join us in singing.
Please stand. Yeah. I claim a blessing. In the morning when I get out of bed, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. Before I even lift my head, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. This is how I start the day, knowing good is on the way. I am claiming perfect health, love and laughter, friends and wives. Woo! In the morning when I get out of bed, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. Before I even lift my head, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. With conviction undeterred and power of the spoken word, take my life and redefine, break the shackles of my mind. In the morning when I get out of bed, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. Before I even lift my head, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing.
I'm claiming my blessing and so are you. God bless you in everything that you do. Oh, I'm claiming the blessing now.
I live my thoughts to the highest ground. No miracles are all around. Each day unfolds just as it should when I'm focusing on the good. Life is filled with opportunity. I wonder what good is coming to me, yeah. I claim a blessing. I claim it. Sing it with us. I claim a blessing. I claim it. I claim
were standing, it's now time to meet and greet with a handshake or a hug.
Or a simple namaste. Make a new friend.
How's your light holding up, Peg?
I don't think there it is.
We go spelunking with that.
Woo! I feel a good vibration, healing and transformation all through this congregation. Must be unity we experience. Is our mission universal notice? Is our vision? I am who I am is my decision. Must be unity. NTUC unity. Yeah.
And we can continue this in Friendship Hall after the service, but for now, if you would have a seat and say with me our mission and vision statements. Our mission statement is, in God, we are an inclusive, abundant community, experiencing love, transforming lives, and serving others. And our vision statement is, we celebrate a world of harmony and oneness, a place of loving stewardship, sacred connections, and pure joy, where all are welcome with honor and respect. And what we'd like you to know more than anything about New Thought Unity Center is that wherever you are on your spiritual path, whoever you are, whatever you look like, wherever you've been, whoever you love, or however you identify, you are welcome here. And we are grateful that you've chosen to be with us this lovely Sunday morning. If this is your first time here, there is in the back corner a newcomer's table with welcome packets with a gift for you. Tells you a little bit about the center. And after the service, Regina will be back there, and she can answer any questions that you may have about our center. So again, thank you so much for joining us this morning. And now it's time for meditation. Sacred love, you are sacred love.
sacred love. Let's breathe in that affirmation together as we relax into meditation. In unity, we meditate to connect to the Christ presence within, to return to Source, which we know is only love. As you breathe in, I invite you to close your eyes or soften your gaze. Feel the air move through your body as you inhale, and just completely surrender to the support of whatever you're sitting or laying on. On your next breath, I would like you to imagine being in a place that feels safe and filled with peace for you. Could be somewhere in your home or nature, or anywhere that brings you a feeling of comfort and tranquility. Take in this place. What does it look like? What does it smell like? What about it feels safe and comforting? For the next few minutes, allow yourself to be fully enveloped in the comfort of this place, feeling yourself washed over with grace and ease. And as you come back into this now moment, bring with you that feeling of comfort, remembering you are sacred love and so loved. You are an essential part of this world.
Show the way, God, show the way. I want to live in such a state of grace. Lead the way, God, lead the way. I want to live in such a holy place. Such a holy place. You are sacred love. Sacred love is all that you are. You are sacred love. Sacred love is all that you are. Sunday morning, I heard the preacher say, "Thou shalt not kill." I don't wanna hear nothing else about killing, that it's God's will. 'Cause our children are watching us. They put their trust in us. They're gonna be like us. So let's learn from our history and do it differently. I hope for more love, more joy and laughter. I hope we'll have more than we'll ever need. I hope we'll have
know I don't have all the answers, but I hope
For more love, more joy and laughter.
I hope
You'll have more than you ever need.
I hope
You'll have more happy ever after.
I hope
You can live more fearlessly,
and we can lose all the pain and misery. I hope, and we can lose all the pain and misery. I hope.
Amen.
Wow. We have an amazing music team here, don't we? Wow. Yeah. Thank you. And so excited to have Gunnar here with us today. His playing has been brilliant, right? It's been so amazing. And we're going to hear him share in just a few moments. So I chose I Hope as the song because I know Gunnar is going to share a story of moving through darkness into hope, into light. And so I wanted to just start by talking about the dark night of the soul. Has anybody here experienced a dark night of the soul? Yeah. And so being a lighthouse or having a lighthouse when you're in that dark night of the soul is so important to have hope. And so there was times in my life, because I've had a few of those, where I didn't think there was light, and yet there was, if I look back, I can see that there was someone or something that was a lighthouse for me. And there are people that are famous spiritual people who had dark nights of the soul. So that's the first thing I want to talk about, is because when I came here, I thought I would never have that again, because I found spiritual community and I thought, well, that was just going to be it. I was always going to be in the light. And so when I hit that dark night, after finding this community, I thought I was doing something wrong. And I just want to tell you, you're not doing anything wrong. It's part of being human. But what is also part of being human and part of a spiritual community is we are all lighthouses for each other. And so you get to be a lighthouse for someone else, and you get to allow someone else to be a lighthouse for you and be the beacon of light. Did you know Mother Teresa had 50 years of a dark night of the soul? Did you know that? Yeah, 50 years. The last 50 years of her spiritual journey, she questioned and doubted. Felt like she lived in a lot of darkness, felt alone. Yet she continued to do that amazing work, right? A lot of us do that. On the outside, we look like we're doing wonderfully well, and no one would know. And so through coming here, I learned how to practice that law of giving and receiving, asking for help when I need it, and giving light when it's needed, and being present for others. And so I'm going to bring Gunnar up here in just a minute. There are 3 times in my life that you've heard me talk about hope. Someone else was a lighthouse for me. First was the nurse in the hospital who never gave up on me when everyone else did. Second was when I got sober and other people were sharing their experience with me, so I knew that I was going to be okay. And third was when I showed up here and that minister saved my life by telling me I had a purpose. All moments of being a lighthouse to me that I have in turn decided I want to be a lighthouse to others. And I also want to be vulnerable enough to let you know when I need you to be a lighthouse again. And through unity, we practice meditation and affirmations so that we can get in the practice of being in community together practicing that law of giving and receiving together. And we can find hope. And so I want to invite Gunnar to come over and share his story of hope with you all now, because I'm really excited to hear this. And it is a Lighthouse moment. And I'm so grateful. So please welcome Gunnar, as I'm sure he's a little bit nervous, maybe a lot nervous. I'm so grateful that you're here. Please share your story.
Thanks, Kim, for that lovely introduction. My name is Gunnar, and I'm going to time this just so I don't go over. So I was born in Cincinnati, and I grew up in Westchester, Ohio. I was born in 1992. I'm 30 years old now. I went through Lakota High School District, and a little bit about me. I went to CCM for a year, studying jazz studies. This was back in 2010. And but I'd like to tell you a story of my journey through drug and alcohol abuse. I started drinking when I was 16 years old. Didn't really develop a major issue with that, but it progressed, as it does. And when I was 18 years old, I tried heroin for the first time. So I started with alcohol, went to, weed and other things, and it quickly progressed to heroin. And I started just sniffing it, and then eventually, within a month, I started using it IV, and I started shooting up when I was 18. And I was in college at the time. It was the summer before my sophomore year that I began doing that. And as you can imagine, being that it's such a major issue and it's on the news a lot, my life very much was destroyed very quickly. And what wound up happening was I began associating myself with the homeless people, and it's just, once you start doing that, your life just becomes absorbed with using and doing unthinkable things to maintain your habit. And I was began stealing from friends and family, began selling everything that I owned, began lying and treating people who I love very poorly. And I grew up in the church, and that was not a person that I imagined myself becoming ever. And unfortunately I did. And by the time I was 19 years old, that came to a rude awakening, and my mother discovered me doing these things in my apartment. She found my stash of needles and drugs while I wasn't there. And needless to say, she was horrified, as she should have been. And I remember thinking that I was very angry that day because I knew that I had been caught, and that meant that some consequences were coming, and I had no idea what was about to happen. My parents were scared for my life, and they checked me into a detox, my first detox when I was 19. So I didn't last very long. So I went into detox, and this was a recurrent theme. I would go to detox, and I would get out, and very quickly relapse. Many times did this happen where I would get maybe 30, 60 days, and I would go back to using drugs and alcohol. And this went on for a while, and after a few months, my parents had enough and said, you need long-term treatment. So they found a place in, well, I'd gotten kicked out of this 30-day program, and they were like, well, Mr. Gidner, you're a special case. We think you need long-term treatment. So we have a nonprofit agency in North Carolina. It was called Recovery Ventures, and it was a 2-year program, which I didn't finish. But they said, you should go out there. It doesn't cost you anything. Sounded too good to be true, and it was. It was primarily, I would say, 90% of the people there were court-ordered to avoid prison. And I'm 19 years old, grew up in Westchester, very privileged, and had no idea that I was privileged. And then so I go here and had a rude awakening of, essentially, it was, we were on our feet 18 hours a day. It was like a, they really put you to work, and found out very quickly that there were people that were, I don't know how to explain it. You get really afraid very quickly. It's a culture shock. Let's put it that way. And I've, had to change the way that I thought, and there were a lot of people that were very manipulative, and I had to change kind of how I guarded myself at that time. But I also made a lot of wonderful friends there. And they got me toughened up very quickly. So long story short, I didn't finish. I decided to leave, and then my parents said, yeah, you're not going to leave. You're going to go somewhere else. So found another place I heard about from one of the guys there in South Carolina. It was called Overcomers Center. That was a Christian-based 12-step inpatient facility. They're still there. I went there 3 different times and never finished. I always got kicked out for making very stupid decisions. But that was in Greenville, South Carolina. When I got kicked out, I found myself homeless there. I was in the mission for a little while until they allowed me to come back. And so to keep the story short, I went into rehab easily 20 times. Not just there, other places also around Cincinnati and things like that. And to still no success of staying sober, unfortunately, until I went into jail and went through the drug court program of Hamilton County, and they sentenced me to go to Prospect House, which is in Price Hill, and I have nothing but good things to say about them. But they're very tough, and that was very much a 12-step AA boot camp, and I got a lot out of it, and I'm glad that I was court-ordered, because there were many times where I wanted to quit, but I didn't because of that, and made it through drug court and all that. And despite going through drug court, despite going through Prospect House for 18 months, you would think a knucklehead like me would finally stay sober, and I did not. I did not. I relapsed again, and every time you relapse, it gets worse. That's all I can say, and that has been true every single time that I've gone back out. So I finally checked into Cat House on Ezra Charles Drive, and had been there maybe a handful of times. And I just I went in, I got out, and relapsed again. And I said, if I don't get it together, I'm going to go back to Prospect House. And I didn't want to do that again. So I went to my mom's house and dried out for 3 days. And then I started doing what they told me to do at Prospect House. I started going to meetings and getting people's phone numbers and things. And I was a month sober, and I met my wife, my wife today. And I had known her for 7 years or so at that time, but we had never dated or anything. Met her at the gym that I go to now, and she's a teacher now. But anyway, we got together, and I don't know, my life turned around between AA and my wife. It's kept me grounded, and I'm very thankful to be alive today and sober. Now, I would like to tell you that since I've been sober, that everything has gotten better. And for the most part, that's true. Yeah, my life has gotten tremendously better. If you would have asked me 5 years ago, would my life look like this, there would have been no way that I had any idea that my life would be as good as it is today. However, I have faced very, very difficult challenges in recovery. I was diagnosed with heart disease 2 years ago. I have an enlarged heart. I have congestive heart failure, and that is a result of years of drug abuse, unfortunately. I'm treated by a cardiologist, and I'm optimistic. But it's very challenging sometimes because I don't always feel so well, and it affects my mood and outlook, but it's okay. I'm doing the best I can, and it's in God's hands, and that's all I can say about that. But yeah, even sober life is challenging, as we all know. However, I would rather be sober with heart disease than ever having one more day out there on the street shooting drugs again. So all that to say, thank you for having me speak. By the way, I'm a nurse now, registered nurse, and in recovery I went back to nursing school. Shortly after I was diagnosed, actually, I had wonderful nurses when I was in the hospital. And that inspired me. I said, if I ever get better, I think I want to do that. And I had, family members that were nurses, and then I chose to go into nursing. And I now work at Cat House as a registered nurse. Thank you. And I'm just delighted to be there, and it's been a real full circle for me, so I plan to continue that path, and I hope that you heard something today that was inspirational or uplifting. If you or anyone in your family or friend circle are struggling, and I just want you to know there is hope, and thank you, Kim and Brian, for letting me speak. And that's all I have.
Yeah, thank you, Gunnar, for sharing. I got inspiration from it. And what I heard was, you can have a goal, you can have a thing that you're working towards, something that you want. It could be a spiritual goal, physical goal, mental, emotional. And you'll start stepping towards it, but you might fall down on that path. And so that's where community comes in. That's where the hope comes in. That's where we get to be a lighthouse for that person when we see them step down. Instead of judging them, instead of judging ourselves, we can say, I don't think I can do this alone. Can you be a beacon for me? And in turn, we can look and see that person and say, I can help you because I've been right where you are. That's what I got from this share today, from my own life journey. And so my invitation to you is, recognize this week if you are a lighthouse or if you need a lighthouse, and be a part of that circle. And know that here at New Thought Unity Center, if you need a lighthouse, we have chaplain support. We have a wonderful community of lighthouses that you can call on. And so be a part of being the lighthouse and letting someone else be a light for you. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you and for being here. Thank you. Oh, yeah, and we can help each other soar and fly together.
It's time to soar, lift me up, what life is for. Rise above all alone. I held the key through open doors. I am free, it's time to soar. Lift me up, what life is for. Rise above all alone. I held the key through open doors. I am free.
Can a broken wing learn to fly? Been hit by life so many times, you'd rather die. Try one more time. Tired and weary, tears in your eyes. Pick yourself up, surely as you rise. Something new is breaking through. A breath that whispers inspires you. Now you know what all brought you here, but you don't turn away. You face your fear. You watch it disappear. You can't believe you could be free. What can you say? You're a warrior, for goodness sake. You just forgot. Now you're ready to take a leap of faith. It's a brand new day, so open your wings, yeah, open wide. Let's go, brave one, you're ready to fly. Yeah.
Lift me up, what life is for. Rise above all alone. I held the key through open doors. I am free, it's time to soar. Lift me up, what life is for. Rise above all alone. I held the key through open doors. I am free.
Couldn't see it before, now it's clear. This power inside is what brought you here. Just need time so you can feel. Now you're ready, you are healed. You're vulnerable and you are strong. You've been these things all along, buried deep to keep you safe. No more need, you're free today. Breathe that in, know it's true. The love you seek is seeking you. You're not broken, you're beautiful, perfect and whole. After all, yes, it's true, you can believe. No more cage, you are free. So stand up strong, stand up proud. Soar, brave one, above the clouds.
Soar, lift me up, what life is for. Rise above all alone. I held the key to open doors. I am free, it's time to soar. Lift me up, what life is for. Rise above all alone. I held the key through open doors. I am free. I am free.
Sing that with us.
I am free.
Keep singing it.
I am free.
One more time.
I am free.
Yeah.
It's time to soar. Lift me up, what life is for. Rise above all alone. I held the key through open doors. I am free, it's time to soar. Lift me up, what life is for. Rise above all alone. I held the key through open doors. I am free.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's great Sunday, great service. It's that time in our service where we do our offertory blessing, and we say, as our ushers and volunteers come down, we'll say our offertory blessing together. Divine love, moving in and through me, blesses and multiplies all that I give and all that I receive. And if you're a consistent giver, please place your card in the basket. Also, if you're giving it with a credit card, we have a machine in the back that you can use. And if you're giving online, don't forget to push the donate button. Donut downstairs, maybe. Also, and if you're writing a check, we do accept snail mail also. Our chaplains today are Lauren and myself, and we're here to pray with you after service. We hold sacred space before, during, and after service. Also, if you don't have a prayer request, you can get a chaplain prayer hug also. And there are prayer request cards in back of the pews. You can fill it out and place it in the prayer box in the back of the sanctuary. And you can also find prayer boxes located downstairs.
We have some messages from people watching online. James McLean says, good morning, sending love and light to all from Kennedy Heights. Randy Maley saying good morning to the NTUC family. Tom Hale says good morning from Hamilton, love and hugs. Cheryl Ann says good morning from Pleasant Ridge. And Joe Wollenbeck says good morning from Teresa and Joe in Rockford, Illinois. So thank you for joining us online as well.
Now let's take a moment to bless our gifts. So we go within, we say, Father, Mother, God, thank you for the gifts shared here today, for the gifts of everyone's presence, for the gifts of these treasures, which help build our center, help us grow individually and as a community. We are so thankful for the time, talent, and treasure shared here, and we see it expanding tenfold in every way, and taking this to our community and to our world. This expansion, these gifts, this time, this talent, and these treasures. We are so grateful for every one of them. And so we say thank you. So it is. Amen.
Amen.
And in addition to those thank
We
yous,
have a special.
we want to thank everyone that helped put the service together today. In the booth, we have Linda and Susan and Terry and Jean doing sound. Thank you to Gunnar. Fabulous being with you this morning. And to all the musicians, Peg and Randy and Michael and Brian.
And Alice.
Oh, and Althea
Thank
and
you.
Jenny. And thank you to Kim for lovely service. We have one more thing
little
to
special
do
thing.
today.
We were going to invite Roy Lane to come forward because we have something special today.
It's been a while since we've done this, and it's time to start again. And that's recognizing our superheroes. And these are people who volunteer in a lot of ways. And the special person that does it today can be seen sometimes helping